Be honest for a second. Have you ever checked your credit card balance and thought, how did it even get this high? You don't remember buying anything crazy. You've been making payments, and somehow the number just won't go down. That's not bad luck, and it's not because you're bad with money. It's because credit card debt is designed to pull you in quietly and keep you stuck. And once you see how the trap works, you can't unsee it. Hey, I'm Mark. I'm just a regular guy who probably spends way too much time researching financial stuff online, late at night, falling down rabbit holes I didn't plan on going down. And one of the biggest rabbit holes I ever fell into was credit card debt. Not just my own experience, but how the entire system is designed so carefully to suck you in and keep you trapped. Most people don't wake up one day and say, you know what I want? Crushing credit card debt? It usually starts small. A swipe here, a swipe there, an emergency, a night out. A few things that feel totally reasonable in the moment. And that's exactly the point. Credit cards are designed to feel painless. There's no cash leaving your hand. No bank account number dropping in real time. Just a little beep, a signature, maybe a tap, and you're done. But what you don't feel in that moment is the future version of you slowly getting buried. Credit card companies are insanely good at psychology. They don't just lend money. They sell comfort, convenience, and the illusion that you're in control. Buy now, pay later. Minimum payment due. You deserve this. All of it sounds harmless, almost friendly, but those phrases are doing a lot of heavy lifting. Let's talk about minimum payments for a second, because this might be one of the most brilliant and brutal features ever invented. When you get your statement and it says your minimum payment is, say, $35, your brain goes, oh, that's manageable, I can do that. What it doesn't highlight is that paying the minimum is basically agreeing to stay in debt for decades. On many cards, if you only pay the minimum, you're barely touching the principal. Most of that payment is interest. So even though you're doing what they asked, even though you're being a responsible borrower, your balance barely moves, and the interest just keeps stacking. Month after month, year after year. This is where the trap tightens. Interest rates on credit cards are not normal. They're not like mortgages, they're not like car loans. We're talking 20, 25, sometimes 30% or more. That's not an accident. That's the business model. Credit card companies don't make their real money off people who pay their balance in full every month. Those people are called deadbeats in the industry. The real money comes from people who carry balances. And here's the uncomfortable truth. The system needs people to struggle. If everyone paid their cards off quickly, the whole thing would fall apart. Another tactic is credit limit increases. Have you ever noticed how you'll get an email saying, congratulations, your credit limit has been increased, even though you didn't ask for it? That's not them being nice. That's them giving you more rope. A higher limit makes it easier to spend more, which increases the chance you'll carry a balance, which increases the interest they collect. Then there are rewards. Cashback, points, miles, free flights, free hotels. It all sounds great, and for a very specific type of person, it can be. But for most people, rewards are a distraction. You might get 2% cash back, but you're paying 25% interest. That's like stepping over $1 to pick up a penny. And yet, it feels smart. It feels like you're gaming the system. That's the genius of it. Another thing people don't talk about enough is how credit cards blur the line between needs and wants. An emergency expense and a random impulse buy end up on the same statement. A medical bill sits right next to concert tickets and takeout. Everything gets flattened into one number, and that makes it easier to justify more spending. Well, it's already high anyway. Life also happens. That's a big part of why this is so hard to escape. Maybe you lose a job. Maybe your hours get cut. Maybe your rent goes up. Maybe groceries just cost way more than they used to. When money gets tight, credit cards become a lifeline. You're not using them to live large. You're using them to survive. But surviving on credit is expensive. And once interest starts piling up, it becomes harder and harder to get ahead. You start paying just to stay in the same place. There's also the emotional side of this that doesn't get talked about enough. Debt is heavy. It sits in the back of your mind. It affects your sleep, your stress levels, your relationships. You might avoid opening your statements. You might feel ashamed. You might feel stuck. And the worst part is, it can feel like it's your fault. But the system is designed to make this happen. Credit card companies spend billions of dollars studying consumer behavior. They know exactly when people are most likely to spend. They know how to word offers. They know how to keep you engaged without making you panic. It's just enough pressure to keep you paying, but not enough to make you quit the system entirely. And getting out is hard, really hard, because as you try to pay the balance down, interest keeps working against you. It's like trying to walk up a down escalator. You can make progress, but you have to work twice as hard just to move a little. So what do? Because the goal here isn't just to complain, it's to avoid the trap if you can, or slowly climb out if you're already in it. One of the biggest mindset shifts is only buying what you can actually afford. And I don't mean what you can afford monthly. I mean what you can afford. Period. If you don't have the cash for it right now, that's a signal. Not a challenge, not a suggestion, a signal. Another powerful tool is using cash or a debit card for everyday spending. When money actually leaves your account, it feels different. It's real. You notice it. That friction is a good thing. It forces you to pause and think instead of swipe and forget. If you do use credit cards, paying the balance in full every month is key. That's how you use the tool without becoming the product. The moment you carry a balance, the power dynamic flips. Budgeting also matters, even though it's not exciting. Knowing where your money is going gives you clarity. And clarity is the enemy of manipulation. When you see the numbers clearly, it's harder to lie to yourself. If you're already in credit card debt, the first step is usually stopping the bleeding. That means not adding new charges if you can avoid it. Then you can look at strategies like paying off the highest interest card first, or consolidating if it actually lowers your rate. Not to make things easier in the short term, but cheaper in the long term. And maybe most importantly, be kind to yourself. A lot of smart, responsible people end up in credit card debt. This isn't about intelligence. It's about being human in a system designed to exploit human behavior. Credit cards aren't evil, but the way they're designed rewards debt, not freedom. Once you see that clearly, you can start making decisions that protect you instead of the companies on the other side of the swipe. If any of this hit a little too close to home, just know you're not alone. And you're not broken. The system is hard by design, but once you understand how it works, you can start taking your power back. Even small changes add up over time. If this helped you see credit cards differently, hit the like button so more people actually see this video. Subscribe if you want more honest, no-fluff breakdowns of money, debt, and how regular people can stop getting crushed by the system. And drop a comment if you've ever had a moment where credit card debt caught you off guard, or if you found something that helped you get out. Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear.